Okay, are we live?
We are.
Okay, very good. I'd like to call the Public Utilities and Green Committee meeting to order. And if we could please have a roll call.
Raymond.
Aye.
Connor.
Aye.
Samples.
Aye.
McKittrick.
Aye.
All committee members are present.
Thank you. And if I could have a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting.
So moved. Second.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. All right, we have one item here. This is an ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service or his designee without the formality of publicly advertising for bids to enter into a contract or contracts with the United System and Software for the purchase of 2,000 encoder receiver transmitters, otherwise known as ERTs, in order to maintain the water meters currently in use and declaring an emergency. Who will be addressing us here?
I will, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Little.
Did we have one other piece though, Sarah?
We do. We also have number 7, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll do this one first and then we'll go back, Mr. Chair. These are for our water meters. We've done this in the past. We brought legislation to you last year about upgrading all our water meters. Due to COVID and the shortage of the microprocessors for the new meters, they're not available. So unfortunately, we have to purchase these ERTs to get us through to the new project start. So what you're going to see this year is the whole network going up, and they have they've been able to leverage a lot less towers, and they're going on existing structures. So they're not putting up any new towers, but it was about 12, it's down to 6. They will putting those up around the city. And then we are going to start our large meters first. And then next year, and it could unfortunately move almost into 23 before we finish, the smaller meters or the residentials. So today's legislation is to buy those 2,000 ERTs, and we have searched high and low to find these. It's not even about a bidding process, it's about the availability of them because it's older technology. And this is to get our residents through till the new meters are put on, because without these communications that we can't read their meter, we can't bill them properly. And so with that, Mr. Chair, consent would be fine. But this is something unfortunately we need to do to get us through to our project is completed.
I'm curious, once we have the new project completed, will there be any market for these 2,000 units that we're buying, or is the technology just so old that?
Actually, that's a great question, because we've looked at other utilities to buy them from them. So yes, if they're not, we will try to sell them, which we've done on like govdeals.com, or other utilities call us, because it's such a specialty item. Absolutely, if there's a market, we will try to repurpose them and resell them. Now, if a utility down the street needs 6 of them, would we sell them to them because we've got leveraged things? I don't know about that. But if someone wanted to buy 1,000 and we have them, absolutely, we will try to sell them.
Okay, very good. Open it up to questions from any committee members. Looking around here, Sarah, help me if I'm missing anything. I do not see any hands.
There are no hands raised right now.
Okay, any council members that might have a question for Mr. Little? Okay, I'll be looking for a motion for consent then, if we could, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of placing this item on the consent agenda, please let it be known by saying aye.
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 Very good, thank you. And pardon me for missing that first piece. We have item number 7. This is an ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service, after publicly advertising for bids, to enter into a contract or contracts to rehabilitate 6,200 feet of 36-inch PCCP water main by slip lining, replacing the existing pipe with 30-inch HDPE and declaring an emergency. Mr. Little.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Some of you are very familiar with this pre-stressed concrete cylinder pipe that we have in our utility. This is about a mile. It's going to start on North Street, real close to West Street, and this pipe goes travels west on North. It churns south on Valley. It crosses Market at Valley. It goes to Crosby, and then it goes up Crosby, west on Crosby to Portage Path, and then it goes south on Portage Path for a very short distance, and it ends at Exchange Street. So with that, some of you may remember 10 years ago, Mr. Chair, you may remember this. We had a piece of this blow out on North Street, and this is where we're picking up, where we made a repair. It got so bad. I mean, this is carrying millions of gallons of water. It actually knocked the house off its foundation down on Gold Street. It's a low area. So we went ahead and shut this system down. We TV'd it. And at the time, we didn't feel like it wasn't critically going to fail. Okay. We put it back in service, but we're at the point now where we really feel like we need to line this pipe. And to open cut a mile of 36-inch water main in the heart of our city would be very, very disruptive, I should say the least. And there are going to be some disruptions with this. And we will be working with the new council person, Councilwoman Holland, on communication, as our communication team does a great job anyway. You guys will all be aware of the outages and the short, when we have a shutdown or something like that, especially Market Street. But we've planned this, we're going to bid it, and then we're going to line this pipe. And this is about a 6-month job from start to finish.
Let's see, what are the PCCP or the HDPE? That is not the same process that we use down on Morse Road with the injection.
No, that you're correct. That's lining, but this PCC pipe is it's a particular piece of water line, and the water line that was manufactured from 71 to 75 is the stuff that they've had failures across the country. Okay, anything previous to 71 or after 75, and we have that in our system, there is no real problem with it. Okay, but what you're talking about, the lining process, yes, this is going to be an injection lining to restructure the inside of this pipe, and then extend the life. We're hoping 50, 60 years.
Yeah, because we had good luck down on Morse Road with that process.
Yes, we did. And obviously it's worked out fantastic. It's really helped the residents down there too with the heavy rains and getting water in their basements.
Thank you. Okay, any committee members that might have comments or questions? Looking around. Okay, and any council members that might have comments or questions? Mr. Malik.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Mr. Lovell, for the description. I know, we get these kind of projects in sequence, but is there anywhere where we can kind of get, kind of a broader picture of kind of the maintenance plan going forward for, the water and sewer infrastructure?
Well, in the rescue plan dollars, we're going to have a bunch of projects that we're going to bring to you that you'll be able to see. And when we brought this piece of legislation, the mayor looked at it and right away says, would it fall into that category? So we have already went out and got loans, and they're very, very favorable. We actually got $1.5 million of this money as a grant from OPWC that will not have to be paid back. The other OPWC part of this, $950,000, is a 0% interest loan. And then the rest of the money through the water resource, through the Ohio EPA, the revolving loan fund, that's been running under 1%. So, but a broader scope of what's coming up, yeah, you'll see some of those in the rescue plan proposal we're working on currently.
Thank you, Mr. Lovell.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Malik. Anyone else? Any other council members? Looking around. And okay, very good. Did you say consent agenda would be okay for this, Mr. Lovell?
Yes, sir. That would be fine.
Okay, then so I'm looking for a motion.
Motion for consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have seconds. All those in favor of placing this item on the consent agenda, please let it be known by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Okay, thank you, Mr. Ludell, and we will get both these items on the consent agenda tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I believe that's all we have. Thank you. We will adjourn at 2:41.
Our next committee will be the Budget and Finance Committee. That will begin at 3 o'clock. Those committee members are Freeman, Amobian, Malik, Baylor, and Lombardo. Aniko, you can stop the live stream and we will return at 3 o'clock. Thank you.